a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right?
Very.
So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Swing and a miss. Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Welcome into Duck Insider on a Monday. I'm Ryan Milano. I'll have you covered here in the Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union, and big weekend in Oregon athletics once again. I can't say it was a mighty big week this week. That was last week. Last week, Oregon got it done in mighty big week. This week, it just felt darn good to be a Duck all the way around. And normally on Monday's show, especially during football season, I start recapping Oregon football and what went down in the week that was for the Ducks on the gridiron. But I want to start with some women's basketball news. And yeah, it's not women's basketball season. We're still 2 weeks away from tip-off at Matthew Knight Arena, where the Ducks on both the men's and women's side will get started. But there was some Pro Ducks women's basketball news. And if you weren't watching Game 5 of the WNBA Finals last night, well, I get it. Sunday Night Football was on. Game 6 of the NLCS was on. But that was cinema. The entire WNBA Finals was absolute cinema, and it was all our girls who got it done, the champions. Sabrina Ionescu, Niara Sabally get their ring. In my book, it should be the second ring for both of them, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, obviously, in college, that COVID year, what could have been, which makes this one feel so much more gratifying for those two as well. It really was such a tremendous series from the both of them. It was a tremendous game for Niara in Game 5. It was a tremendous series highlighted by the Game 3 buzzer beater for Sabrina that gave the Liberty the win. I thought this was really an Oregon-focused series, and even for Coach Kelly Graves, having Courtney Vandersloot on the team as well. 3 Kelly Graves coached players won a ring last night. That's so big. Seeing Satu and Niara together on the floor. If you just go scroll through the last 12, 24 hours of Oregon women's basketball socials. You'll have a really good time, a really, really good time. And the rise of Niara Sabally, especially in this Game 5, was really awesome to see. Was not really a contributor in their final unit, the final 5 that you have on the floor throughout the entire season. And yet, in this game, Niara Sabally was the X factor. 17 minutes, 13 points, 7 rebounds, and then get her defensive presence in overtime because she made the play of the game, maybe both of the plays of the game. In overtime, about halfway through the period, she gets the steal, goes coast to coast, makes the layup where offensive points were a premium in that extra period. And she made them a premium because not only with the steal and score, she got buckets, but also on the defensive end, about a minute later, she got beat on the perimeter and then had a block from behind to prevent the Lynx from scoring and cutting it to a one-possession game. Niara Sabally was awesome in this game and a huge X factor. Holly Rowe for ESPN called her the Finals MVP 2.0. You might have been able to give the award to her because she had such a tremendous game in that Game 5, and you could feel it building throughout the series as she got more and more involved for the Liberty. That was really awesome to see. Sabrina didn't have the best night shooting last night, just 1 for 19 from the floor, only 5 points, but impacted the game in so many other ways, not to mention the buzzer beater game winner in Game 3 that got the Liberty in position to close out this series in Game 5. She had 8 assists in this game, 7 rebounds in this game. A really, really strong performance from the Pro Ducks. Really happy for the New York Liberty and especially for Sabrina and Niara getting their ring, their rightfully deserved ring. Long time coming for the both of them. Congratulations. Really great night to be a Duck. Last night, also yesterday, Marcus Mariota threw a touchdown to Zach Ertz, which was just, that was weird. That was weird. I'm happy Marcus Mariota threw a touchdown. I don't know. There's so many things that go involved into that one. But really, for Oregon, in terms of this weekend in collegiate athletics, the Ducks, Oregon soccer, they went on the road. We'll talk to Graeme Abel later in the show. Oregon volleyball, they went on the road as well into the Midwest, split their trip. Joey will talk with Matt Ulmer tomorrow. Speaking of more women's basketball, we'll talk in a season preview with some of the players on today's show. But also on Friday, Oregon played Purdue on the road, on the football field, and the Ducks got the win. If you weren't watching on Friday, you were watching on Friday. What am I saying? You guys were all watching on Friday. But if you weren't listening to Jerry and Georgie, well, they've got the game recap covered. Here's what happened on the road in West Lafayette.
Welcome to Purdue University.
Travel 3 time zones and here to West Lafayette, and it feels like Big Ten football.
The shotgun. And back to throw again. Little play action. Wants to go deep. Way down the right side. And it is Cobb. What a catch. And a flag comes out. First down inside the 5-yard line. Noise level rises up. Snap. And hand it off. James goes up the middle. James scores. Touchdown. Jordan James, his 7th of the year. 2 backs, 1 an H. Back to throw off play action. Pump. Down sack. Wow. Mateo Uyunglele. So 4th down, Dylan under center, turn, give it to James, he will power his way, touchdown, Jordan James. Here's Oregon, little switch pass left, and Ted's going to try to get to the end zone, in the corner, he hit the pylon, touchdown, Tez Johnson, and Oregon makes it 20-0, big 4th down and 11 play. Brown with a snap and back to throw. Pressure, throws, catch made, short of the first down though. Jabar Muhammad on a tight end. And there was no way that Claire was going to get away after making that grab. 4th down and 10 from the shotgun, back to throw. Pressure comes, deep ball coming. Muhammad is there, that ball is incomplete. Well defended by Jabar Muhammad. Gabriel sends him out of the backfield, empty backfield, Gabriel to throw. Gonna go to Whittington, he made the grab, is that a touchdown? Yes, it is!
What a catch.
Holy cow, Whittington looks like a wide receiver with a grab on the left side of the end zone. How in the world he brought that ball down with the defender all over him?
Wow, what a catch.
To the right, is that Jaron Dickey out there with him? Here's a pitch coming left. And 10-yard line inside of the 5. Harris will score. Nice blocking on the left-hand side as Jay Harris gets his first touchdown of the year. And the junior celebrates with his teammates, and Oregon makes it a 34-0 ball game. 30-yard line, first down, trips left for Brown, back to throw. Brown sets, throws, going for the end zone. It is intercepted. That's a great interception by Oregon. Stepping right in front was Cam Alexander. Cam Alexander with a tremendous defensive play. Shutout. Oregon's going to win it 35-0. Impressive 35 points. Just as impressive 0 points from West Lafayette, Indiana. Big road Big Ten win against Purdue. The final 35-0. The shutout. The Ducks over the Boilermakers.
Big commanding win for Oregon on Friday night last week over the weekend, and there were a whole lot of firsts that happened in this game. It was the first time that Oregon went on the road against one of the classic Big Ten teams and got the victory. First time Oregon went on the road across multiple time zones and got the victory this season. It's also Oregon's first shutout since 2012 and the first road shutout since the Ducks shut out the Beavers in 1992, 7-0. The Ducks are off to their first 7-0 start since 2013, and it was the first Oregon touchdown for Jay Harris, the first Oregon interception for Cam Alexander, the first collegiate catch for Jeremiah McClellan, and a whole lot more first. including the ranking next to Oregon coming up next week. The Ducks first in the AP poll. Oregon, their first AP poll top spot ranking since 2012, the 10th time that Oregon has been ranked in the top spot in the AP poll. The 10th spot in the coaches poll, 9th time ranked number 1 in the AP poll. Oregon ranked number 1 in 2012 and then had a lot of weeks in that stretch in 2010 as number 1. So first time in a little over a decade that the Ducks have been in that top spot. Oregon, one of 5 teams in the Big Ten to get into the top 25. Penn State at number 3, Ohio State at number 4, Indiana at 13, and Illinois, Oregon's next opponent, at number 20. But we're still breaking down the game against Purdue. A lot of firsts and a big 35-0 win. Dusty Hara, right after the game, he caught up with Coach Dan Lanning. Let's hear Coach's thoughts fresh off the sideline.
Since 1992, assess your defense's performance in this one.
I think we showed what we're capable of, and I still watch that game and I say, man, there's so much improvement for us out there, so many places we can be better, and I know we're going to go attack it.
You know, between that second quarter and into the third quarter, it seemed like there was a little bit of a lull on both sides of the football. What was the message to kind of jumpstart things again in that fourth quarter?
Just that we're not going to change who we need to be for us to be the type of team we want to be, right? Let's go put it on the field. Let's go show on the field. I thought our guys were able to do that. We wanted to establish the run in the second half. I thought we were able to do that. But there's going to be a lot of things we can look at that we can say, hey, we can get better at. And we're going to play some really good teams moving forward. For us to be the team we want to be, we got to be able to do that.
Can we get to a little bit of that good in that first quarter, though? The first 3 drives of the game, your offense looked like they were firing on all cylinders. You had to be happy with them coming out being sharp out of the gate.
Yeah, we talked about starting fast. You know, we know obviously teams have struggled traveling to be successful. We felt like we wanted to create some momentum. You know, there's a reason being able to take the ball there early in the game. I thought that was a place that we could do that. And to go to score the first 3 drives certainly helped us.
Young guys, we saw a lot of contributions from young guys in that fourth quarter. What popped out to you from guys like Jeremiah McClellan and Jay Harris? And then on the defensive side of the ball, a big pick by Cam Alexander.
Yeah, a lot of guys being ready for their moment, right? Those guys practice so hard. Our team isn't our team without those guys on our team. And for them to be able to step up when their number was called is huge.
As you guys sit there, and now you're going to go to the doctor on Saturday. Is it a Saturday visit to the doctor?
We'll get to the doctor a little bit quicker for sure.
And then you got a big game against Illinois coming up in Autzen Stadium again. It's got to be nice to be back in the friendly confines after a short week.
Yeah, I'm counting on our crowd to bring it again like they did last time we were in Autzen.
We got a long flight home, Coach, so I'm going to let you get to it. Congratulations on 35-0 win.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Dan Lanning with Dusty Hara after the game, touching on some of the firsts for Oregon. There were some big plays for the Ducks in this ballgame. A big 4th down stop by Jabar Muhammad. Big touchdown catch by Noah Whittington. We're going to hear from both of them after a quick timeout. Oregon gets the win on the road, 35-0. Still recapping it when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio here on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. The Ducks are coming home to Oregon because the Ducks were on the road this week against Purdue, or I guess last week against Purdue, and now they're at home this week coming up against Illinois. It's going to be really fun with a ranked matchup inside of Autzen Stadium. We'll get a kick time for you for that game and Michigan game coming up in just moments. But first, we're still recapping that Purdue matchup for the Ducks as Oregon got it done. And the Ducks, they had some big-time plays in this game. Jabar Muhammad, he had not one but 2 fourth-down stops in this one. A pass breakup to knock the ball away from a receiver on 4th down. Gave the ball back to Oregon, and then after a completion underneath, Jabar Muhammad on a tight end made a tackle to give the ball once again back to Oregon. Defense was huge in this game. It obviously was. The Ducks shut out their opponent. It is not easy to shut out an opponent, especially at the offensive pace in which Oregon plays, and the Ducks, they put the 0 on the board. I was talking with Bryce Betcher earlier this year, and he said the goal every week is to come in and put up a 0 on that board. That's the standard of Oregon football, and it doesn't have to be a 0 for the defense to play to the standard, but that is the standard that you're looking for. 35-0. Jabar Muhammad, he played a key part, made some big stops at opportune times. Dusty Harrow was able to catch up with the Duck cornerback after the game.
Jabar Muhammad down here with me, and you guys get the shutout. A 0 on the board, and it was on the road. What's it mean to you guys as a defense?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. Every time we walk out there, we're going to have this standard that we have in the defensive room that we want to, limit points. And if we have a chance to choke somebody out, not pun intended, to choke somebody out, just end it with a donut. And that's kind of what we was emphasizing today, and that's what we did.
As you guys, as a secondary, you allow less than 100 yards total through the air. A sense of pride, like you were saying, about what is going on in the defensive room. But you guys have really come together and are playing at a really high level. How have you seen the growth in the secondary?
I've seen a lot of growth. And, man, just to be honest, we hold ourselves to such a high standard back there in the back end. We have a lot of vet guys that, know what winning looks like and know what success looks like. So we try to implement it every day. We stay after, we do extra. Man, we know each other off the field, and we're so connected, man. I can't even explain it, but the growth has been miraculous. Just every day getting to know these guys inside and out, off the field, on the field, knowing how certain people communicate, things like that. It's a true brotherhood, and to see that come to fruition is great.
You had a key breakup on a 4th down where there's a 6'3" receiver who tries to undercut you, and you make a play on the ball. Take us through that, because you went up as he's trying to high point the ball. He's got probably 5 inches on you height-wise. You're going up to make a play.
Right. I mean, I always tell myself, man, I know I might be a little undersized, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm undersized. I never want to play that way. Whoever's in front of me, I feel like they're my height. You know what I mean? So when the ball's in the air, they might think it's 60-40, or they might have the advantage, but I like to think it's 50-50. You know what I mean? So just going out there and competing when the ball's in the air, knowing that that's going to be the knock on me, no matter what it is. Just going out there and proving everybody wrong.
What's the difference between the actual vertical and your game vertical? Because game vertical, you should be not as high, but it looks like you can get up.
Right. I mean, I think it's just the adrenaline. Whatever it is, we joke sometimes and say we always get +3 attributes on game day because, all the adrenaline's running, the crowd's going crazy, and we just want to go out there and compete for our teammates.
as we talked to Noah Whittington, the guys celebrating the successes of Jaden Lamar and Jay Harris when they have their success offensively as running backs. Cam Alexander comes up with a huge pick to preserve the shutout at the end of the game, and all of you guys were going crazy. What is it like to see a guy come in off the sideline and come up with such a big play?
Yeah, man, just see the guy come up, like you said, come off the sideline, no complaining, just go out there and just do his job, man. Cam was smiling the whole time, just ready to get his shot, and he did. He went out there, he got an INT. But like I said earlier, that's just the brotherhood that we have, that we're all connected, and we love each other. Everybody wants to see each other win, so that you see that come to play when everybody's on the sideline jumping up and down.
You guys always go to the doctor. How do you feel the doctor's going to treat you guys when you go there on a Saturday, not a Sunday?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dang, I forgot. But, I definitely think it's a lot of things we can clean up, like tackling and things like that. But we have a few mistakes. But like I said, the doctor always treats us good, and we're going to go out there and get our mistakes cleaned up.
All right. Congratulations. Another win. And back home at Autzen Stadium next weekend. Jabar Muhammad, congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
That's Jabar Muhammad after the game, and he said every ball in the air is a 50-50 ball. Jabar, I hate to break it to you. I think you've got a better end of that percentage. That's just me. I just watch him play. I don't know. But from my vantage point, it looks like Jabar Muhammad breaks up passes a lot more than they get complete when the ball's thrown in his direction, which isn't very much because he's a lockdown corner on the outside. Talking about 50-50 balls, running back had a 50-50 ball, and boy, did he look like a wide receiver. Noah Whittington with one of the more impressive catches of the season. There were a lot of impressive catches in this game. Evan Stewart's bomb down the sideline comes to mind. This Noah Whittington catch also certainly comes to mind. And Noah Whittington, he did it on the ground. He did it through the air. All-purpose contributor in this 35-0 win against Purdue. Dusty Harrell also caught up with the Duck running back after the game.
Well, he's a Swiss Army knife now because we didn't know he had hands like that. Noah Whittington, take us through that touchdown catch. I mean, that was, you pinned it against your forehead, a defender draped all over you. Take us through that play.
Shout out to Dylan Gabriel, DG for the ball, great pass, if you ask me. I think it was more so a better ball than catch.
As this game wore on, you guys, the running game started heating up a little bit more. Was that a point of emphasis at halftime and coming out?
Yeah, it was. Coach Lanning came in, and he really put a point of emphasis on that, and we went out and executed.
As you guys are looking at the game, you guys, first 3 drives, march right down the field and score. There was a little bit of a lull in that second quarter and leaking into that third quarter. What was the mentality and kind of the messaging between you guys on the sidelines during that time?
Don't get complacent, and we kind of had to remind ourselves that this team came back from a much bigger point deficit last week, and going into halftime, we went in and made some corrections, and we came back out and executed.
But it was a fast start. First 3 drives, you guys put 3 touchdowns on the board. That also, a point of emphasis heading into this week, is to continue to play quick and fast. As you guys came out of the gate, moving the ball down the field the way that you guys are, what's that feeling like for you as a back when the offense, it seems like everything is working for you?
It's a great feeling because that's what winning feels like, So like, I love it when we go down and do that because it just shows like how dominant of a program we are.
We have seen the first shutout since 1992 on the road by a defense in a complete team win for the Oregon Ducks. It's been a really long time since that has happened. What is it like when you guys are on the sidelines watching your defense kind of put the clamps down?
For me, it's not really surprising because I kind of see it every day at practice. So that's kind of what I expect from our defense.
That competition that you guys have every single day throughout the week in practice, how meaningful is that for you when you get to Saturday or Friday night like tonight?
I think it's very meaningful because, as you can see, going against a defense that don't allow any points helps the offense score 3 times on the first 3 drives, so it kind of goes hand in hand together. It's like iron sharpening iron.
Jay Harris got his first touchdown. I thought one of the really cool things was 2 of the first guys to meet him as he came off the field after his first touchdowns was you and Jordan James. What's it mean to see those guys that are working through practice throughout the week, get those carries late in games and have that success like getting touchdowns and big runs from Jaden Lamar?
I mean, it means a lot because I see them go hard every day at practice, and for them to get their shine and get they touchdowns, it shows like from top to bottom how good of a room we are.
Well, you had a long day at the office. I'm sure you want to get some food, get on a bus, and get some rest. Noah Whittington, congratulations on a shutout win, improving again 7-0 on the season, and keeping things going.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Noah Whittington. It's awesome when you get to see so many guys contribute in a ballgame. I mentioned all of the firsts that Oregon had with Jay Harris and Cam Alexander and Jeremiah McClellan, and then Noah Whittington getting involved in the passing game as well. Jordan James almost had a receiving touchdown, which was very close to being across the goal line. He ended up punching it in with a few rushing touchdowns. It just is all-around performance. Dylan Gabriel spraying it everywhere, running the ball. It doesn't matter who's in the backfield. That is when Oregon football is so much fun to watch, and we'll get to see it back at Autzen Stadium next week when the Ducks play Illinois. 12:30 on CBS, Oregon going up against Illinois at Autzen Stadium this week, and then kick time just came down from the league office earlier this morning for next week's game when Oregon goes on the road to the Big House to play Michigan. Same exact thing. 12:30 on CBS. Not very often where you see Oregon in a 12:30 time slot. Not very often where you see Oregon on CBS. I was actually talking with some guys in our sports information office, and we think that the last time that Oregon played on CBS was in the 2007 Sun Bowl. And that might be the only time. I don't. If you fans know better, let me know. I don't remember the last time Oregon played on CBS. Sun Bowl? Let me know. But nonetheless, prime time for Oregon, right in the middle of the college football day. 12:30 Pacific time at Autzen this week. 12:30 Pacific time on the road at Michigan next week. That's what's coming up for Oregon football. And, well, right after that Michigan game, it's going to be basketball season. Yeah, the Michigan game's played on November 2nd. It's a doubleheader at Matthew Knight Arena coming up on November 4th to start basketball season. And we've been talking about the WNBA stars for Oregon that showed up yesterday. We're talking about the stars of the future when we return, previewing the women's basketball season on Duck Inside on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back here in the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're jumping all around today. We're talking a little football, talking a little women's basketball. We're 2 weeks from basketball season at Matthew Knight Arena for both the men and the women. Going to be a doubleheader on November 4th. And so earlier last week, I think it was on Thursday. So over the weekend-ish, both men's and women's basketball previewed the season coming up. Few women's basketball players, Peyton Scott, Nani Falatea, Katie Fizo, they all talked with the media previewing this season. Let's hear from some Ducks that are going to be seen at Matthew Knight Arena this season.
Just start with Peyton. I'm curious on where you're at with your recovery and what the last year was like for you, obviously, after playing 5 minutes and suffering a tough injury.
Yeah. That's a fair question. Currently, I'm fully cleared, so I'm about 10, 11 months into my recovery post-op, so fully cleared by the surgeon. Been back in practice, full go, and just doing a lot of maintenance and treatment and rehab and making sure I'm watching my load so I can stay healthy for the season.
Some of the decision of why it's important to come back in here and not seek out other opportunities?
Yeah, of course. I think with the extreme of an injury, I wanted to make sure that I got the rehab and the surgery and the treatment like a world-class place like Oregon could offer me. And on top of that, just I wanted to give this program and this community and this university a chance to play here. Like, that's what I came here to do. And so I wanted to make sure I did that, and I was just excited to be able to come back, even have that opportunity. Very grateful to Kelly Graves and the coaching staff to even give me that opportunity. So very grateful to be here.
Nani and Katie, just as newcomers to the program, just your impressions so far of Eugene and of just, being here and being part of this team so far.
Man, I think Eugene's a beautiful place. I've really enjoyed it. I'm from Utah, so I'm used to beautiful nature outside, and I think Eugene is right up there with Utah. It's really pretty here. As far as the team goes, it's been great. I think the culture that we've built so far it's been really fun to be a part of such a great program.
Yeah, like Nani said, Eugene has been amazing. I'm from Washington, and Eugene and Washington are kind of similar, so I kind of got a little gist of it before coming to Eugene. But everyone's been great. Eugene, Oregon, everyone's been so welcoming to me, especially as a freshman, and I really appreciate that. And I'm excited for this team. We have a great bunch of group of girls for this year, so really excited to show out that.
And Peyton, as a player who was on the team last year, obviously, the challenges that the team faced down the stretch and wanting to bounce back this year and compete in the Big Ten. What's your impression of that mindset among the group?
Yeah, we love it, and I think we've talked 1 through 15, even the coaching staff. We're staying in this year. We're staying with this group, and we're staying with the new people, and we're not reminiscing. We're not talking about the past. Everyone knows what it was, but we're trying to stay in the present and really build that culture on and off the court and bring the energy and be ready to compete in the Big Ten. I feel like we're taking steps to do that.
Yeah, and for all of you, the team building that you've done in the off season, going to Black Butte and everything. What has that experience been like? Any of you can speak to that.
I think it's been good. I think that's always important when you're coming into a new team, is to get to know people on and off the court. It just, especially having 9 new girls, that's kind of crazy. So I think the more that we get to spend time together off the court, going up to Black Butte was so much fun, getting to know each other, just on a deeper level. I think it's only going to take us further when it comes to chemistry and gelling together. So.
I hear, I guess, and after a year like last season, which was obviously really tough for this program, what's the key and I guess what are the goals to try to aspire to and turning this thing around a little bit?
I think like Scotty said, we're not thinking about last year. Coming in the portal for me, that was Coach Kelly was one of my first calls that I took, and I could tell just by his energy he was going to be a coach that I really wanted to play for, and just looking at his legacy too, he's a winning coach and he develops winning programs, and we're not coming in, I knew there was going to be lots of transfers coming in, and we're not coming in thinking about last year at all. That's not in the back of our heads. We're moving on, we're moving forward. So
I guess what are you hoping to move forward towards? What do you think this group can achieve?
At the end of the day, the NCAA tournament that's our goal. The pieces that we got, we could take this thing far. So
And I feel like we can take it as far as we want it to. The way the work that we've been putting in practice, just putting the daily deposits, the little things, focusing on the little things. We've been just working every single day, so I believe we truly can take this as far as we can.
Katie, what's it been like, I guess, for you? I mean, you're sitting next to a couple of really experienced, talented guards. There's a couple not in this room on this roster. What are you learning as a freshman coming in when there's a bunch of really experienced kind of lead guards on this team?
Yeah, it's a blessing. I'm truly blessed to be surrounded by such amazing well-seasoned point guards and being a sponge. I'm young, and I'm just absorbing all the information I can. They hold a lot of information. Like I'm coming in just from high school. Just the little things that I didn't realize were like, dang, I'm doing this wrong. But like having them as my support system right by my side, guiding me, leading me through this process, because freshman year, it can get hard, it can get hard, but having them by my side, and it's truly helpful. So I'm thankful for them, and I'm excited. So,
Peyton, I'm wondering if you could talk about the differences you expect going into the Big Ten this year. And obviously the Pac-12 was a great conference last season, but the level of talent top to bottom in the Big Ten, I mean, what is this team sort of expecting?
Absolutely. So coming from the Midwest, I think I have more of an idea on what the teams are like over there and what kind of basketball they play. I played against a few of them before. And it's blue-collar, hard-nosed basketball. I think the Pac-12 is more of a finesse skill league, a lot of, just straight skill talent. And in the Big Ten, you're going to have to work. And so I think we're really trying to supplement that in our practices and making sure that we're a gritty team that gets up in people and causes chaos. And I think just being able to bring that to the Big Ten, like they said, we can go as far as we want to go. And we got a lot of talent, a lot of depth, and a lot of people that want to compete on this team. So I'm excited.
What stands out about this group? I mean, as we've said, a ton of newcomers, a lot of new talent. What can you tell fans about what to expect and maybe what some of the strengths are going to be?
Absolutely. The energy, the versatility, the depth, I think are three that really come to mind for us. We're deep at just about every position. We got dogs on this team. People that are gonna go get a bucket, go get a steal. Not afraid to get on the ground, cause turnovers. Just like I said, be chaotic. And we're really playing for one another, which I love about this team. We're playing for the teammate beside us, and we also welcome in feedback, which I think is really good, and that's going to help us build our chemistry and build that trust and continue to elevate throughout the season.
For any of you guys, what's the competition been like for guard minutes and playing time? It seems like there's so many here. Can you speak to just how difficult that's been or the challenges of that?
I can take that. I think that's why you come to Oregon. You want to compete. It's not about taking a spot from someone else. It's about what role we can be best in for the team. And I think as guards, we're all in this together. We're trying to learn from each other. We're trying to make each other better. Iron sharpens iron. I feel like that really represents on this team. And it's not about trying to win a spot out from someone else. It's about playing your role to the best of your ability. And at the end of the day, it's going to take this team as far as it can.
I know with you all being guards, have you gotten a chance to watch Sabrina in the WNBA finals? And if you have, just what have your thoughts been? And how are you learning from, a player that is an Oregon women's basketball legend?
Yeah, no. For sure. Sab's a legend. She's always going to show up day in and day out and just do what she does. And in the finals, you see that the first game, they come back. In game two, she's not going to let that happen again. So it's great to see her as someone that came from a mid-major and used to literally clip up and watch film of like her and Ruthie and their games. So it's been awesome being at Oregon now and seeing her represent the Ducks, but also, just do what she does. Bring energy to the game, and it's really exciting to see.
For Nani, so many transfers on this team. What's it like coming in? Does it help to have 5 others that are doing this kind of for the first time here, or what's that process been like coming in with such a big group?
Yeah, I think it's been helpful. I think a lot of people look at it and like, oh man, like how are they going to get it together? They got so many new people, but honestly, I think that all of us have kind of found comfort in each other with it. Like nobody's here and like knows exactly how things are supposed to go. Like we've taken a lot of leads from Scotty and Philly, and they've been great, but it's just been nice to know that like when you're a little lost, like you're not the only one that's a little lost. Everybody's in it together. So
previewing Oregon women's basketball season coming up in 2 short weeks at Matthew Knight Arena. And when basketball season's ramping up, it means some seasons are coming to a close. It's the final week of the year for Oregon soccer. Head coach Graeme Abel joins the program when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back here in the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ryan Milano with Oregon Soccer head coach Graeme Abel. The year's coming to a close. Have you felt like this? You've been in it, obviously, this whole year. Have you felt like, okay, this has been a long season, or it's been like, no, it's been a quick season. It's over already?
They're always quick. They're always quick from when we get going. We get, because of recruiting and all those pieces, we don't really get a summer. So we end and then we go recruiting right away. There's camps and all those things that happen. And you're back in the preseason, and then before you know it, you're in October.
You're still focused on task at hand, have a big game coming up this weekend, but this is going to be the last time that we talk on this program this year, so I want to take the opportunity to wrap up the season. Before we do, you went on the road, you played 2 Big Ten teams this week. Just your takeaways from the weekend as a whole.
Yeah, we're disappointed Thursday because, we had 3 or 4 really big opportunities in the first probably 25 minutes of the game, and it's one of the things we spoke about as a group. We felt that we probably should have been 3-0 up before Nebraska had scored their first goal. But difficult conditions with the wind and things like that. So if you take advantage of those moments early on, then it's a different type of game. And then Nebraska punished us. In the last 10 minutes of that second half, of the first half, and then you're chasing the game in terms of that piece, changing shape and doing things like that, and you're chasing the game. And like we said before, once you start chasing the game, especially in this conference, then you'll ultimately get punished again, which we did. And then against Iowa, we just they direct second ball. They were very, very good at picking up second balls, and then were able to hurt us in the wide areas, and unfortunately couldn't pick that one up either.
You talked about the wind, and that's something that's really interesting to me. In the game report, it's up to like 30 miles an hour wind.
Yeah.
We have trees around here. It's hard to train that much wind around here.
Yeah.
How much of a difference maker is that when it's something that's really difficult to prepare for?
Yeah, I mean, I coached in Oklahoma for a total of I think 6 years, and that was the windiest game I've ever played in because it. I think it was 20 to 25 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 40. I think it was. And one end of the stadium was open, and the south end of the stadium was open, and the wind was coming in from the south. So it was different to play in. You know what I mean? And so it's I think one of the goal kicks we took in the second half, Anna Solomon hit it, and it's gone. And then you've seen the wind pick it up, and it's literally just stopped and blown back. So yeah, different to what we typically experience, but a whole new world in the Big Ten.
One of those where you feel like you almost have to bolt your shoes to the ground. I'm surprised I didn't see you flying away on the broadcast.
No, it wasn't too bad. I wore a smaller jacket, so it wasn't like a kite. But no, it's different to play in, and you know when you've got the wind, you try to take advantage of that piece, but then there's an element of when you have the wind behind you, you can't really play balls in behind because they run out, and then when you have the wind coming in your face, you can play those bigger balls because they hold up, but it's more difficult to get out of your end. So just different things to deal with and different game conditions that add a different element to it.
But that is some of the element of playing these Midwestern schools in the Big Ten. It's new. It's the first time you've been able to see that. That's a bit of a competitive, I don't want to say competitive advantage, but it's competitive difference.
It's just a change in environment, that's all, you know what I mean? And it's no different when, teams are coming to Pappy and then we'll play on turf than versus grass. It's different, and so that's an advantage for us versus some of the other teams and that. So it's just a different environment, but I think great for our kids to experience, especially the ones that want to go and play professionally. And if you're playing, if you play for the Portland Thorns and you're going to go play Kansas City and go play the Currents and stuff, then you're going to deal with those conditions when you go that way as well.
Taking the season as a whole, you've been able to go through it. Next match up against Washington on the road, that's an opponent you've been familiar with. You've now been able to go through and faced off against some of these opponents that haven't been conference foes at their place. Obviously haven't played everybody, but the conference as a whole, what have you learned now having to go through and traveling to these road environments that we really haven't been that much before?
Yeah, I don't think the travel thing is as big as what I think probably people make it out to be. I mean, again, we're fortunate that we don't start school till late, and so for our sport, it's not that big of a deal. But it's I don't think the travel thing is as a big of a piece that. I've said it before. In our sport, our kids travel so much in their youth career as it is, and our kids are used to traveling on a Thursday from out to Florida and then playing an 8 a.m. game the next morning, and so we're fortunate that we're able to prepare for that a little bit better in their youth careers, and so they're used to that piece. The soccer's different. I think it's a very, very good conference. Soccer is as good as the Pac-12, but I think more power and strength in this conference for sure. Ability to win the first and second ball, and it was evident yesterday versus Iowa, and is different, and I think that's underappreciated, to be honest with you. I think I watched a lot of games over the summer on TV, and I was telling somebody this morning, just seeing that up close and personal and in person it's different. So it's a very, very good soccer conference, and a really impressive conference in general, just in terms of the professionalism around the conference is second to none.
As we're now reaching sort of the bookend of this year, take this team as a whole. How will you take this team in the context of your tenure here at Oregon Soccer? How will this team be remembered for you?
Great group of kids. I mean, there's such an enjoyable group of kids to be around. We have a wide, we have someone who was 17 at the start of the season up to someone who's 23, so, wide age range there, but just a really good group of kids to be around, easy to be around, win, lose or draw. So just an enjoyable group to be around, and, some of these guys are going to play professionally. They're going to be good professionals, and more and more opportunities for that in our country now, which is awesome. So really looking forward to following the ones that go play professionally, and then I think we've got one that's going to go be a doctor, one that's going to go be involved in the law side of things. So if my health is ever in any jeopardy, I've got one to take care of me there, and then if I get into a spot of bother with the Lord, then I got another one to take care of me. So touch wood, neither of those happen, but really, really good group of kids and just enjoyable to be around.
That's such a point of pride, is to see the athletes go and succeed. I'm seeing it really for the first time myself, where people like Sabrina and Niara, who were here when I was a student, now they're off winning championships. They won last night. Like that. I'm starting to realize that for the first time. There's so much pride that's involved when you see either professionals at the next level or whatever they end up doing with their career. That's got to be a source of pride.
Yeah, it's careers and in life as well, where they go and become moms and things like that. And, it's all the different things that they go on and do. You hope that they take some of the values that they've learned, in an athletic department and in a team and working with you, and they can, like it's the athletes are the high profile ones, right? Because they're the ones that are on TV and things like that. The past like Croy, Chardonnay, who've gone on and done things. Chad was with the Wave for a little while, and with other players, Cass, Zoe, off in different places doing their thing. But they're the high profile ones. But it's the ones who go on and have, like I said, the careers and the great lives and do all their different things. Again, it's inspiring to see.
It's not just you who's here molding them. It's the job of your entire coaching staff. Rachel and Sean, the job that they have done this year, helping get everybody prepared, and the job that they will do as now you're going towards the end of the season and through the off season, you continue to build up this program.
Well, it's there's obviously the coaching staff, and again, we're the ones who are kind of the face of it, but all the people behind the scenes, whether it's Armando taking care of them on the medical side, Lindsay with the academic side, Lisa with the nutrition side, Wyatt with the strength and conditioning side, all the sports scientists that we have. And so we have all of these different people, our team managers that we have behind the scenes, that nobody ever gets to see the work that they do. And we practice every morning because of classes, so we got our team managers out there at 6 a.m. putting cones out and things like that when everybody else is in bed. And so the work that all of these people do behind the scenes is so vital to what we do. I forget Emily there, who sat right on the other side of the wall over there, and the time that she puts in to make sure that travels arranged and schedules are sorted and food's there when it needs to be there. And our flight coming back yesterday was late, so trying to arrange that piece. And all of these people do so much work for the student athletes and to ensure that they have a great experience, that they need to get their credit as well.
That's cool. And I'm glad you bring up the travel as well, because there is one more road trip this season coming up Sunday, 1 o'clock, Big Ten Plus at Washington. That's a rivalry. Ducks and Dogs. That's a rivalry.
Yeah, it's a big one in terms of the rivalry piece. I mean, we were talking about before we get on air in terms of how big this one is. And I remember when I took the job, and I remember Lisa Peterson saying to me, "Don't lose this one." So.
What are the keys? What are the keys to take down and finish the season strong?
Well, it's a rivalry, right? So it's a battle. I mean, it's going to be raining. I think it's going to be in the high 40s, low 50s in Seattle on Sunday. It's on grass. I mean, they have a men's team, so the grass is always churned up a little bit. So it's just going to be a dogfight out there. It's as simple as that. And we're going to make sure it's a duck fight over a dogfight. So. So no, it'll be a battle in there. They're direct, they're strong. So we've got to make sure, I spoke about, the duels and the 50-50s and the first and second balls. That'll be a key piece. How well we defend the 18-yard box will be a piece when we don't have the ball. And then, we've got pace up top. So how quickly we can utilize that pace is going to be key, especially on the counter attack. And then, we've created chances in all the games we've played in this season. So it is capitalizing on those chances and making sure we put the ball in the back of the net.
What else should fans know before we let you go off to Washington? And unfortunately for us, not get to see it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, you see, I'm right over the road there, so
I'll see you across the hall.
Yeah, you guys will be good. No, I thank you to everybody in terms of who's been able to come out and support us, and the community here is unbelievable in terms of how they support all of the sports and things like that. And we're real appreciative of how it's been again this season.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us here on this program.
Anytime. Thank you.
Hey, go get a rivalry win this weekend. We're looking
we'll
forward to it.
Going for it.
All right, stepping aside, coming back on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here on Duck Insider here in the Country Financial Studio, and we're continuing to wrap up the show as there is some news that came down from the league office this weekend. It's not only football that was going on, women's basketball that happened on the pro deck scene, Oregon soccer was going on, Oregon volleyball, they went on the road too to play against some Big Ten schools, and the Big Ten Freshman of the Week setter Kristen Klein had 88 assists over the two matches over the weekend, 15 digs, 2 service aces, had a few blocks as well in there. She was all over the place. Joey will talk with Matt Ulmer on the program tomorrow about what is continuing to go on around the volleyball scenes as Oregon split the weekend against a really talented Wisconsin team, dropped that match in 4, and then defeated Iowa in 4. Also, earlier in the weekend, acrobatics and tumbling schedule just dropped. Oregon going to open the 2025 season in Acro with 4 home meets, then 3 on the road before the NCAA championships coming up at the end of the season. That's all for today's show. Joey's got you covered with so much more tomorrow. See you, everybody, and go Ducks.
Let's ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not